I think that one of the biggest ways that I've hurt a lot of people or like let people down is not reaching a certain standard that they put onto me or an expectation that they set for me. Not just that, but also just following my own type of wave when they was on a whole different type of timing. Whether that was me growing or going down a self-destructive path, either one of the two. You know, if it was a self-destructive thing, I could understand that, you know, you're going somewhere and I'm not going that way, so you're gonna go that way while I go this way, you know what I mean? But it works in that sense, right? But I feel like there was a point in my life when I was growing, and when that happened, that growth, it shocked people. They didn't expect that. And they expected me to just be on the same shit that I was doing before. And because of that, it caused a lot of friction in the relationships that I had. And as crazy as that sounds, that's a reality that a lot of people deal with. Trying to reach expectation of people is futile. You're a human being that's changing and growing every day. You're a human being that is attaining new hobbies, attaining new, you know, goals and aspirations every day. And that's obviously gonna change the man that you are. It's gonna change the woman that you are. It's gonna change your schedule, your time and everything. And for me, it completely did that for me. I went from someone who used to smoke, someone who used to, you know, just chill in bed all day, do nothing, to someone who goes outside and actually gets stuff done. And people back then didn't like that because they were so used to a certain version of me that no longer existed. I think one thing that we need to ask ourselves is, you know, if it comes to that, are you comfortable with losing the friends that you've attained? It's impossible to keep everyone in your life. You can make the choice to stay, and you can make the choice to try to pick people up all you want, but it's like you're gonna pull yourself down at a certain point. At a certain point, you gotta leave it to the other person. It's their task to, you know, pull themselves back up. You know what I mean? It's not your task. And I think because that love that we have, we feel like it's almost a principle that we have to follow to the point where, you know, we kind of neglect our own goals. We neglect ourselves in order to try to boost someone else up. But if someone else ain't trying to really like help themselves, you gotta rightfully just leave them. You gotta continue moving forward, because even if you pick them up, they haven't built their own, you know, type of resilience within themselves. They haven't built that type of determination within themselves to maintain that. So you're gonna have to just endlessly just, you know, pick that person up. I think that can be tiring. I think that could be dangerous too. Cause a lot of resentment, because, you know, as you're doing that, it's not a friendship no more. It's almost like a piggyback ride into wherever you're trying to get to with another person behind you. And for me, it wasn't even that, but it was just not reaching expectation. I used to get down on myself so much for, you know, not doing that. For, you know, I used to get called, my name's Stefan, but I used to get called Steven, because, you know, I was growing and becoming a more, you know, just straightforward guy. I wasn't, you know, on the same silly stuff that I was on, you know what I mean? But at the time, I took offense to it, but I'm so thankful I didn't, you know, go back to wherever I was, because if I did, who knows where I would have ended up now. And that's what I'm saying, like, reaching that expectation that people have put into their head for you, you can never do it. And if you do it, you're gonna be at war with yourself. You're gonna be living a life that someone else has planned for you, rather than the life that you have planned for yourself. You know, how does that look like to you? How does that look like for the months ahead, the years ahead? You wanted to, you know, change something, or you wanted to pursue something because you're so worried about what someone else is gonna think that you're not even gonna try to attempt that no more, because you're scared that another person's gonna lose interest in you maybe, or just look at you funny because you've changed the type of person that you are. What do you expect from yourself? That's what you need to, you know, really put into your head, because you're gonna look in that mirror every day and see if those expectations you had for yourself got met. And if they didn't, you're gonna give yourself a long, funny look. I promise you that. You're gonna look at yourself like you don't even recognize yourself. You know what I mean? I think that there came a point in my life where I definitely had to be selfish in order to move forward. And I don't mean selfish in a way where I just closed all my emotions and became heartless, but more so selfish in a way where I had to sacrifice a lot of time and that was put into other people in order to better suit myself. I think the thing that kept me on that, focused on my trajectory was just focusing on the fact that if I go and do that thing, I'm benefiting that other person, I'm not benefiting myself. Don't, get a funny feeling within yourself because of that. Because at the end of the day, if someone wanted the best for you, if someone really expected you to be the best version of yourself, then that comes with you putting those tasks into place so you can be the best version of yourself. You know what I mean? If you put someone else in check before you, then your mental health, you're gonna become stagnant. You're not checking up on yourself enough, and that's, in my opinion, it's a form of being used, in my opinion, because real love comes with, that care for someone else to get their stuff done. I also understand it because I feel like as humans, we're very selfish creatures. I think it's twisted. It's twisted because we expect stuff too. We expect a lot of stuff to get met. But when we're different from other people's expectations, we don't feel a way about it. So in a way, this video is kind of juxtaposed in a way, I suppose. Apologies for interrupting. Just want to give a big shout out to the 1900 family. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what I can improve on. Let me know what you liked about the video. It helps the engagement, it helps the channel, and it would mean a lot to me, for sure. Mwah. I think one of the most beautiful things that I read about, God is that he loves unconditionally, whether you meet his expectations or not. You just gotta come to him on a sincere type of thing. If you don't, then, that connection kind of gets severed. But what it basically means is God's gonna love you whether you're, doing wrong or doing right. He's got that love for you. And I think we gotta all embody that. Not to the point where we're getting done wrong, of course, but just, not cause such a conditional type of restraintment to anyone. One thing that I had to get comfortable with was recognizing when love was conditional and when love was unconditional. And when I saw that conditional love with people, I definitely had to pull away. And one thing I can definitely say that will happen to most people is the person that you're trying to pull away from will make you feel bad about it and remind you of all the things that they've done for you and all the things that they have sacrificed in order to be in your life. But what you need to realize is that's their purpose, that's their job while being in your life. Whether it's a friend, it's your parent, or whatever. Once they enter your life, it is their responsibility to be the most genuine and loving person. Once that shifts and you feel like you need to leave, it is in your best interest for you to let go of whatever type of relationship was keeping you stagnant. I'm not saying to completely drop it off though, from the get-go. Of course, try, but you can almost guarantee that in these cases, the trying isn't gonna lead to nothing. If anything, it just leads to more tiredness and more stagnance. It sucks. It really sucks. There's a lot of friends I still think about to this day where I wish we could have, I really wish we could still be in each other's lives, but nah, man, it's poisonous. It's poisonous. As much as it looks good, it's poisonous when it comes to that. It's like puppetry. You're playing a role that someone else has in their head for you, which isn't ever going to be a thing that you can do your whole life, is it? Because you're questioning why can't this person just fuck with me for me? Why has this person got to expect so much shit from you? So, and then you're gonna walk on eggshells. That's something that is just, you can't walk on eggshells your whole life, bro. When you're trying to, get to a certain point, you gotta walk with 10 toes down. So the people around you either gotta be up for that or they can respectfully get out. You gotta walk 10 toes down to wherever you're trying to get to. Forget all those expectations. Forget all those eggshells that people have set for you before. I think if a person really cares about you, like I said, they're gonna support you. They're gonna uplift you. They're gonna make it easier for you. Not make it more harder. That just comes with a level of understanding and maturity. And if the people around you don't have that, then I think it's, time to let go for real. It's the courage to be disliked. It's the courage to be alone. It's the courage to have your own back. No matter what anyone else says, no matter what anyone else thinks of you, you're gonna have your own back regardless. Meeting an expectation, you're living in a shadow within yourself. You're living in a deep void within yourself because you know, unless coincidentally you're, you know, what you do your whole life just matches everyone's expectations of you. But of course, that's not gonna happen. What you need to realize is you have tasks that you need to fill in with whatever interpersonal relationship you have put yourself into, whether it's a manager, so you're gonna, you know, do the tasks that have been set for you. If it's your girlfriend, the bare minimum of being a boyfriend. If it's your friends, the bare minimum of being a friend. Of course, I'm not saying be a dickhead, but I'm saying that, you know, those unrealistic expectations, for example, you know, hanging out all day or being on the phone all day or stuff like that, you know, it's not realistic. It's not something you signed up for. I think making that clear at the start, I think, is important. But like I said, you're gonna change. You're a human being. You're not gonna stay the same. That's why I say it's inevitable that you're gonna lose people throughout this ride, this rocky road called life, unless they can adjust to you. But a lot of people can't. And if they do, then it's normally too late. Know what I mean? But just know you don't owe anyone anything. You don't owe anyone anything. Like, a lot of people will make you feel like you owe them something, like, you know, you owe them your presence, you owe them some materialistic thing, or you owe them just a lot of time and energy, but you don't. We all have our separate lives. We all have our own responsibilities. We all have things that we're trying to get to. Know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, if a person's bugging you that much, they probably ain't got stuff going on for themselves. I think in those moments, it's easy to know that you got, know what I mean? But yeah, it's Men's with 1900 Thoughts. I'm out, man.